Hi everyone, this is Teacher Hazetee and welcome to our virtual Kumustahan sessions. But this time it is a recorded Kumustahan session because three of our Baraseño teachers will not be present virtually in our call as there would be a face-to-face caravan on Blue Rizal Cares to be held at Morong today. So, ayan, welcome to our virtual classroom. Ayan, I hope that one day we could use Zoom, no, as our platform for our class and that we can enjoy the view of an immersive classroom like this one. So, again, good morning. Let me up my slides for today. I just head you to our materials to help you get started for our class today. And so let's just wait for the PowerPoint to load. Ayan. Again, welcome to our collaborative instruction for grade 11 learners. It's already March, ano? This is our first kumustahan for the month of March. So again, good morning. And this is for the subject reading and writing skills. Please help me document our class proceedings or this asynchronous learning activity by sending in a few screenshots to our chat group and to just let me know that you really watched this recorded Kumustahan session. Okay, so that's our subject title card. Let's skip that. Now, we'll be heading on Usapang Breki, okay, or breakfast. So, in the comment section or in our chat group, you may just have our mental health check-in in the form of asking each other what did we have for breakfast. Not only that, but what did our breakfast make us feel today. Okay, so if you had a good and hearty breakfast, you can just key in a red heart. If you cooked your own breakfast because you woke up early, you can use an orange heart. If you had a lot today for breakfast, you can use a yellow heart. If you feel so stuffed right now upon finishing breakfast, you may use a green heart. A blue one if you did not have much for breakfast today. Purple if you're not sure what brekkie is or what breakfast is. And if you haven't had dinner last night. So brown if you do not feel as full and energized after brekkie. Black if you skip breakfast for today. Apologies for the typo error. And white if you are not much of a morning person, so that you would just be having your breakfast later on. Key them into the comment section of this video, but I think the comment section is disabled, no, because of a few technical glitches that came across my YouTube account. But yeah, you can just send them into our chat group or Facebook chat group, ayan, to let everyone know how are you today in the form of a breakfast check-in, no? Thank you. So this is also a reminder to everyone not to skip breakfast, okay? So moving on, previously in reading and writing skills, we had the properties of a well-written text and organization and coherence and cohesion. Those are two properties of a well-written text that is merged into one lesson. And we also have language use and mechanics also merged into one lesson. Actually, if we have the usual face-to-face classes, isang araw ang isang property of a well-written text, no, because you really have to learn about this so that you'd be a great writer, no? But not really a great writer, but you can improve yourself as a writer, no, better from where you are, ano, in the previous years that you are in junior high school and in the elementary. So, syempre, because you're in senior high school now, you're expected to do better as a writer and as a reader. Kaya naman, we take this subject, this core curriculum subject, reading and writing skills. And now, for this week, ayan, so like what I have been telling you, this is just a suggested matrix, but because we're all different, we come from various backgrounds, ayan. So, hindi to nasusunod, no? Syempre. So, let's skip that. Now, for week 7, we have explicit and implicit claims. And we'll be starting off with claim of fact. Actually, this is the last lesson na for first quarter in second semester, no? So for week 7, we have our target to identify claims explicitly or implicitly made in a written text. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to identify claims explicitly? First, of course, you have to read your self-learning module. You have to read lesson 1, claim of fact under the unit explicit and implicit claims in written text, found on pages 42 to 52 of your self-learning module. Also, you have to read the claims of fact in your activity sheet and identify the basis of authority that explains why they are considered hard facts. Now, I'll be stopping screen share right now and share again. And but we'll have another screen to share now because we will be delving into the claims of fact, no, as written in your self-learning modules. And for that, we'll be opening your modules. Let me just search for that right now in my browser history. That is the last lesson for first quarter. So here we have explicit and implicit claims. Ayan, if you will check the pages, ayan, page 42, yung minention ko kanina. So here's lesson 1. As a critical reader, you may encounter texts that exhibit specific claims. Some can be directly stated while others can be mentioned directly. It is important to know how you can identify them and how you can distinguish the type of claims in a written text has, no? So you can just read the introductory paragraph to know more about a written text and what are the explicit claims and implicit claims that you may find in it. And the lesson is actually divided into 3. We have claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value. Okay, so back when we had face-to-face classes pa in my previous batch of students, this is one of the most confusing yet the most fun lessons. No, hindi naman most fun, but one of the most fun lessons that I've had because medyo nalilito sila sa claim of policy and claim of value. And now we'll know, no, if you will feel the same or if you will experience the same just because ang pinakamadali dito I would have to admit would be claim of fact. Okay, kaya yun yung pina-activity ko sa inyo this week. So ayan. Moving on, we have other paragraphs here to read, syempre about the lesson which is claim of fact. Now, after learning the properties of a well-written text, again, we have the 4 properties I mentioned earlier. We have language use, we have mechanics, we have organization or text organization, and we also have coherence and cohesion. Once you have mastered already those properties of a well-written text, the next step would be analyzing the stand or argument. And you have to know what that stand or an argument is. Now, that's the opinion, and you have to find that, no? And you have to create your own opinion then as a writer, no, and as a reader, no, because you are encouraged to illustrate a good level of understanding of the written text through verification and of course the affirmation and assertion, because it would be very easy to just say na, oh sige, naintindihan ko, yes, 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 pero if somebody would ask you, how did you really understood or how did you really understand the text, baka wala ka maisagot, no? So that's where this skill comes in. You have to process your learning by writing your opinion about it, ano, and rewriting your thoughts so that that stays in your head, no? This understanding leads to bits of information covering a discourse called claims, no? And that's what leads us to our lesson for today. So these are pictures you could examine and where you can write your direct observation and indirect observation. But again, these are not required. And if you do this, you would not be graded definitely, ano, because this is not part of the weekly home learning plan. Okay? So for this check ko lang yung screen ko a bit. Ayan, so an explicit claim is directly and clearly stated in a text. It is when you easily point out the information in a passage. Ayan, so we could highlight that maybe an explicit claim again is directly and clearly stated in the text. It is when you can easily point out the information in the passage because you can see that directly and you can find it with your own eyes. Okay, madali siya makita with your own eyes. On the other hand, an implicit claim is indirectly expressed in the text. Hindi mo siya makikita, no? Hindi mo siya makikita with your naked eye, and that is why you need to look for clues or make inferences to understand its meaning. You have to hypothesize and make inferences, ano, and that's where your critical thinking comes in. Actually, there are three types of claims, but for this lesson, we'd be focusing muna on claim of fact. Okay, now what is a claim of fact? We'll just be skipping on this part because this is just an activity not to enhance your skills in identifying what a claim of fact is and what are explicit and implicit claims. No, pero diretso na tayo sa claim of fact. Ayan. So this is also an activity on that. You may just do that as well. But again, that's not graded because what only the activities that are graded are only those parts of the weekly home learning plan. No? So for the claim of fact, I will be flashing again my activity for you. Saan na siya? No, it's in Microsoft Word. I'll be looking for that activity. Week 7. Ayan. So here, you have to read the claims of fact below. That is what's written in our weekly home learning plan. Now you have to read the claims of fact, then identify the basis of authority, whether that is scientific data, historical records, or news that explains why these statements are considered hard facts. Now, going back to what a claim of fact is, a claim of fact is a statement that reports, describes, predicts, and makes casual claims or whether something is a settled fact. Now, this is such a short description of what a claim of fact is, no, but a claim of fact actually uses different sources of information to verify if what you're really saying or what is being said to you is a fact, okay? And this is what we have to know then to justify or to discern if the an idea presented to us is true or not, okay? This also makes us, of course, an literate and media adept, no? As today is the age of fake news and disinformation which we have to battle, no, constantly. So ayan, as readers, we have to be educated about a claim of fact. And now we have detailed that by assigning you this activity. So mas detailed to. Ayan. So here, these are all claim of facts. Okay? Claims of fact, I'm sorry. Ayan. So these 15 statements here are claims of fact. Now, you are to read the sentences, syempre, and then find the pattern, no? Ano yung pattern nila or what makes them all similar that makes them all qualify as claims of fact. And now, once you find that pattern, you have to identify the basis of authority. Bakit sila na-classify as claim of fact? Ano ang pinagbasihan na otoridad? No, whether that is a scientific data, whether that is historical records, or maybe geographical records or data then, or news, ano, and any other source that you may add here. Siguro kung meron pa kayong ma-justify sa akin na may iba pang basis ito, no? But the template answers here that I provided are 3 only, ano? Scientific data, history, or news. Okay? But again, I'd be accepting answers if kaya nyo i-justify bakit yun yung sagot nyo, no? So, ayan. Here, we have 15 statements and I'll be just reading them Very quickly, ayan. Number one, in the new normal, the Department of Education introduced many modalities, learning modalities, one of which is modular remote learning. Number two, the Philippines is named after Philip II, King of Spain during the 16th century Spanish occupation of the islands. Number three, in locations where there are a significant number of COVID-19 cases, the government imposes a curfew. Number four, the Philippine eagle is a threatened species in the Philippines. Number five, vaping can have the same negative consequences as smoking. Number six, the overall number of native languages and dialects spoken in the Philippines is estimated to be around 150 according to scientific studies. Number seven, although cancer is a prevalent illness, it is not communicable. Number eight, the Philippines has numerous cultural affinities with the West because it was under Spanish rule for 333 years and then under U.S. tutelage for another 48 years. Number nine, according to research, taking a sleep can help people relax. Number 10, despite the Philippines' abundant mineral resources, mining only accounts for a small percentage of the country's gross domestic product or GDP and employs an even smaller proportion of the people. Number 11, a vegetarian diet can help a person live a better life. Number 12, Maria Leonor Herono Robredo is the 14th Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines, a lawyer and a public servant. Number 13, Efren Peña Florida. Oops, I missed that letter N. Efren Peña Florida's organization has grown to include thousands of youngsters in its pushcart schools around the country, earning him CNN Hero of the Year in 2009. Number 14, the Philippines has a tropical climate that is heavily influenced by monsoons. Number 15, approximately 67.5 million people out of a total population of 110 million are eligible to vote with the vast majority of votes cast on election day. Ayan. So those are the 15 claims of fact, ayan, provided for you para you can know the pattern already, what makes them all similar. But again, you have to know, you have to identify which makes them different naman in terms of the basis of authority. What makes them a claim of fact? Is it scientific data? Is it historical or geographical records? Or news agencies or news articles, no, that are existing. Okay, so that's it for week 7, activity 7. And now we delve into the next task, the next activity. Let me just head back to my slides here and use PowerPoint again as a virtual background. Sana pala hindi na ako nag-stop sharing. So let's wait for the slide to load again. But yeah, I'll be scrolling down a bit para makita niya. Ayan. So this is week 8, activity 8. Wala pa rin yung presentation ko. No? So let's just wait for that. And scroll din tong module natin. No? So these are other activities, no? But again, not required and will not be graded if you do them. Ayan. And then page 45, we have claim of policy already, followed by claim of value. And I'm gonna skip to the part where did we leave before I presented the other slides. Oops. Ayan, lalagpas na talaga ako. Lumagpas ng pindot. So, ayan. Now, for week 8, we are to study naman explicit and implicit claims, claims of policy and value. Excuse me. Now, for the target, we are to determine the key elements of explicit and implicit claims, but this time we'll be delving into claims of policy and value. Okay, so we are to read the lesson, of course, about claim of policy and claim of value, and then using the graphic organizer in your activity sheet, you are to write down the elements and characteristics of explicit and implicit claims that you learned from the lesson. Okay, so here it is. Here's the activity, but I'll be showing you muna yung content ng module, syempre, for you to have a quick overview of what that is. So, for lesson 2, we have the claim of policy. So again, it is mentioned here, ayan, may recap dito na claim is described as a debatable set of words or a concept that allows a source to influence the receiver for acceptance. Okay, so a claim can be refuted, a claim can be agreed upon. No, it depends on the person listening to the claim or to where the claim is presented. No, so this is equated to an opinion, to an idea, or an assertion. All of these are related words to the term claim. Okay? So ayan, a claim has also been associated with words such as belief, argument, assertion, or stand. Okay? It all boils down to these terms. Ano lahat yan magkaka-relate. Okay? So that's a claim. It can be classified according to method and nature. Explicit claims and implicit claims are types of claim based on method. On the other hand, a claim of fact, claim of policy, and claim of value are types of claim based on nature. So you have to know which ones are based on method and which ones are based on nature. Okay? So ayan. Now, as you read along the lesson, ayan, you will know what that is and how are these all different. So this is a word hunt task. You may do that, but again, not required and not graded. Now let's focus on the claim of policy. A claim of policy is the argument where action should be carried out. Okay? Meron kang dapat gawin, no? Meron pinagagawa sa'yo or meron dapat na gawin. Okay? Basically, it is perceived as a relatively direct statement. This claim can also be called claim of solution. Okay, so I learned this as a new concept. This is a claim of solution because it suggests and supports policies and solutions, and the action to be taken is based on the results. Okay, so you have to find if there is a policy to be changed or if there's an action to be taken in a statement that is already automatically a claim of policy. So ito pala yun, no? You will know if a statement is a claim of policy if there's an action to be done or solution to be taken, okay? Or if there's something that needs to be changed or revised or revamped, parang ganyan, redesigned, ganon, no? If there's an alteration actually that automatically qualifies it as a claim of policy. Okay? So ayan, here are some examples of claim of policy. Ayan. So hindi naman siya matatouch dito sa activity, so we could discuss a little about these examples para malaman nyo what is a claim of policy. So answer the guide questions on a separate sheet. Again, if you answer this, it is not required, so it will not be graded. Ayan. So gender equality should be supported by every Filipino. This is actually a claim of value, no? Because should be supported, pero there's no policy that is mentioned. Pero if there is a policy like the gender law or ano, something like that, or yung SOGI bill should be changed, ganyan. Merong na mention na ganun. That's a time that it qualifies for the claim of policy. Okay? So this is a claim of policy. The pandemic which the world is experiencing takes away lives. Thus, Filipinos are ought to stay at home. Filipinos are ought to stay at home because there is an existing policy on that. Ano yung guidelines natin ng IATF. Now, is there an action to be done? If yes, what is the action? What type of claim is that? Okay? The Bayanihan to Heal as One Act is implemented to fight COVID-19 crisis and therefore should be obeyed. So pag may na-mention na nga na policy, ayan. So here, wala siyang minention na babaguhin, but therefore should be obeyed. Yes. Okay, so the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Okay, so that is a claim of policy. Spreading fake news in the midst of pandemic will not help at all. Hence, by all means, it should be stopped. It should be stopped. Alin yon? Spreading fake news, no, in the midst of the pandemic. So here there are questions. Is there an action to be done? If yes, what action? What type of claim this is? Number 5, frontliners save lives while sacrificing their own. Discrimination of these people should not be tolerated. Ayan. So again, is there an action to be done? If yes, what is that action and what type of claim is this? Okay, you could answer those questions, but again, not required. Ayan. So you could complete the sentence by writing down, okay, those are activities, not required, not required. Ayan. Now we go to claim of value. Ano, mabilisan lang. Claim of value is something that allows the readers to decide what should or what should not be valued. Ano ang hindi dapat pinahalagaan at ano ang hindi. Sana all mahalagaan. It is beyond facts and beyond policies but surely appeals to your emotions and justifications. So, meron siyang, ano nga yun, yung, I forgot that term, no, yung sa Filipino, sa pagbasa at pagsusuri, ethos, pathos, and logos, no, ayan. So, something that appeals to your emotions, no. Logos kasi is more of the mind. Ang pathos, I think yun ang sa ano, yun ang sa puso, ano, and then ang ethos is more of the ethics, no. So, if you're dealing with emotions and justifications, ayan, that is a claim of value, more on EQ ang pinapagana dito. No? Later in this lesson, you're expected to be able to identify different types of claims from a written text. So ito, previously, may recap din dito about what's a claim of policy, and then yon. But now we'll be focusing on claim of value. A claim of value is an argument based on morality, belief. So basically, para siyang about sa humanity natin, ano, us people being human beings. Okay? Ethics or philosophy, ayan. So, na-mention yung ethics, no? Yung ethos din. Or your belief talaga sa buhay, ano yung prinsipyo mo din, no? It is influentially stated by combining limited facts and proving them as either good or bad by targeting the reader's emotion. Generally, this is subjective kasi we all come from different backgrounds and magkakaiba yung opinion natin on things. Now, it's up to you whether which ones do you value or which ones do you not, no? It is also called a claim of judgment because the reader has to decide whether the argument or proposition is wrong, is right or wrong, or has to be accepted or rejected. In other words, this type of claim is more appealing to the reader's subjectivity. Ayan, so na-mention din pala dito yung being subjective. If the argument challenges the decision-making or judgment leading to acceptance or rejection of the reader, then it is considered to be a claim of value ulit. If the argument challenges the decision-making or judgment leading to acceptance, bago mo tanggapin na challenge muna yung worldview mo, meron ka ng existing na view on that issue, pero dahil may bagong information na pinresent sa'yo o may bagong statement na pinresent sa'yo, now your views are challenged. You are now thinking if the existing view that you have is right or may babali ba doon na bagong pinipresent sa'yo. So now, that automatically qualifies it as a claim of value kasi nag-iisip ka na kung tama ba siya o mali. Is it right or wrong? Is it morally good or is it morally, is it immoral? Ganyan. So, is it ethical or not? Okay? So, yun yung mga pinagtatalunan natin. But most of the time, it's about right or wrong and then good or bad, no? Yun, good or evil, no? Something like that. Or, ayan, so bago mo i-accept, may challenge pa muna sa decision making mo, and that would lead either to acceptance or rejection, no? So, if that happens, if that occurs within your critical thinking, now that it automatically considers that as a claim of value. Okay? So, yun. These are activities related to the lesson, but again, not required. So, ayan din, ayan din, ayan din. So, you could answer this to better know about what a claim of value is. So, yan. So, I guess that's it. Now, let's go back to my activity sheet. Ito na talaga yung gagawin nyo. Using a graphic organizer below, we are to map the elements and characteristics of the various kinds of claims. Close ko na yan. Various kinds of claims, claims of fact, policy, and value that you will learn from the lesson. Basic lang to, no? Yung mga characteristics lang and what makes them all different from each other. Okay? So, I guess that's it. You do not need to plagiarize anymore dito kasi nasa module naman yung sagot, no? So, yeah. I guess that's it. So, move on na tayo to the other parts of my slide. Do not forget to answer the mental health check-in. So, medyo inabo ko yung questions and I tweak them a bit just because may mga instances na hindi na kayo nagsasagot. So, baka na-bore na kayo dun sa usual questions. So, ito, kumusta ka? Siyempre, kumusta ang pag-aaral mo sa asignaturang reading and writing skills? Naunawaan ba ang nilalaman ng module? Sumubok bang makipag-ugnayan sa kaibigan, sa kaklase o sa kaeskwela sa pamamagitan ng chat o text message tungkol sa mga bahagi ng module na mahirap unawain? Nagtanong ba sa guro upang malinawan tungkol sa aralin? Also, do not forget to answer yung ating ulat sa pagsabaybay ng magulang. So, you can invite your parents or your guardians to answer this, no? Para monitor din nila yung ginagawa nyo, para at least you can have an extra witness or extra eyes, no? Para may may nakakaalam din kung talagang nagsasubmit kayo ng activities, because some others claim na nagpasa sila ng activities pero hindi naman talaga, no? So, or baka na iwanan sa kiosk ka, no? So, ang daling sabihin na nagpasa or not, o no? Na nagpasa na kahit wala talaga, no? So, we're just dealing, or we're just relying on trust. Pero sana hindi ganon. And wala naman akong sinasabi na nagsisinungaling kayo, pero yun nga, ang hirap magtiwala ngayon na remote learning tayo, no? And yun, may trust issues na rin ako sa inyo kasi may nagpe-plagiarize, no? Sana na lang hindi maulit ngayon at sa mga susunod pa nating sessions, no? And may subjects pa tayo na magkikita pa, no? Definitely, you'll see me sa entrepreneurship next set, I'm so sorry, and then we'll see each other then sa grade 12, no? Sa UMS lang naman to, pero may creative writing kami tsaka creative nonfiction, no? So I don't know if I'd be assigned to teach other core subjects pa in grade 12, no? Baka sakali, no? But that we don't know. So again, going back dito sa ulat ng pagsubaybay ng magulang at tagapag-alaga, so sana involve ang parents nyo, no, sa learning nyo. Kaya I tweak the questions here as well, and then the icons here. So, dati check marks lang to, pero binalik ko na siya dun sa broken heart, hindi nagawa ng mag-aaral ang mga itinakdang gawain. Yellow heart, nagawa ng mag-aaral, pero may tulong ng iba ang gawain. Nagawa ng mag-aaral ang gawain ng mag-isa ay green heart naman, no? So, ito, yung questions na subaybayan po ba ninyo ang mag-aaral sa pagbabasa ng mga aralin at pagkukumpleto sa mga itinakdang gawain? Nakipag-ugnayan po ba sa guro tungkol sa mga bahagi ng aralin na mahirap maunawaan? Salamat po. Because I tweak this way because I've been receiving comments na hindi daw na iintindihan ng anak o nahihirapan. But my question is, have you tried reaching out to me, to your classmates, no? Kasi na-observe naman natin yung ask 10 before me dati. Pero ngayon, parang hindi ko na nakikita na may exchange na nangyayari sa GC. Parang tahimik na yung chat groups natin lately, no? So, sana mabalik yung art of communication sa group natin so that we can foster a good communication culture sa ating school, no, in our class. So also, quick reminders, do not submit tasks that are not part of the weekly home learning plan because they will not be graded and they are not required. Use the activity sheets provided by teachers. Natutuwa naman ako na may konting developments kasi yung mga nagsasubmit lagi ng activities na hindi ko naman pinagagawa ngayon ay nagsasagot na doon sa activity sheet. Okay? So, do not pressure yourself na para lang makapasa kayo ay ika-copy-paste yung nasa answer key. No, that's not the way to pass my subject. Okay? So, you are to study and use activity sheets, no, na pinrovide namin sa inyo. Basahin niyo yung ginagawa namin, no, so that you will learn. Also, quick reminders, refrain from copying answers, yun nga, and do not copy answers from online forums and blogs, lalo na sa Brainly, sa study.com, ask.me, lahat yan, alam ko na, okay? And napagdaanan ko na, no? So, yung mga analysis nyo ng tula and all, na doon kinukuha, please stop it. Okay? Stop plagiarizing and copying content because what we need from you is your own answers galing mismo sa inyo because that is how we will assess how you learn from the subject, no? Plagiarized submissions, either that is copied from your classmate or from a friend, from a boyfriend or girlfriend na gumagawa ng module nyo, no? And most importantly, if that is copied from the internet, that will earn 0 points. I'm so sorry, no, but I'm not sorry because, yeah, That's it, ano. And that's stated in your weekly home learning plan because we do not tolerate copying from online, from other sources, no? Yun. Also, as then before me, communicate in our chat groups and never assume nobody is there to help you, no? Gaya ng mga kino-comment nung nandun sa weekly home learning plan sa aking ulat sa pagsubaybay, no? Sana nagre-reach out, no? And don't be shy, we are here to talk, ano, hindi lang ako, but all of us teachers, ano, we reply to your concerns, pwera na lang kung tulog kami, no? And we reply to personal messages, no? Yan. Tell us how we can support you because if you won't tell us, di hindi namin kayo masusuporta, no? That's it. Here are my contact details. Nagdagdag na ako, no? Baka hindi nyo pa ako makontak. May YouTube, may Twitter, may LinkedIn, Facebook. Oh, that's my official Facebook. Here's my blog, Tumblr, na hindi ko na na-update. Pero I read that weekly. My email, I check twice or thrice a week. Sa Teacher Hasty na Facebook page ko, I check that pretty much every day. 5 to 7 times a week. And then, sa Teacher Hazy na IG, ayan. And my contact number. No? Pag hindi nyo pa ako ng contact, ewan ko na lang. No? So, chat groups natin, sana lahat members na ng chat group, no? Let me know if hindi kayo member ng chat group natin. Kasi second quarter na din, no? Second quarter na yung susunod na week. Kaya dapat ay member na kayo ng chat group. So, ayan, support group natin. Hindi naglo-load yung GIF. No? Let's actually join now or parang join us. Okay? We have Baraseño Nation with 470 plus members already. Ayan. So, we also, this is for former students and present students and both the old and the new. Dito naman sa Baraseño, nag-change na ako ng name, no? Baraseño Reading and Writing, but you can still find it, no? Baraseño Reading and Writing with Teacher Hasty, school year 2021-2022. You can still find that where I upload resources, ayan, as regards my classes, no? Ito yung QR code papunta dyan sa group. So, you can look for it. Ayan. All our love and support and care and concern and all that, ano, and everything nice para lang matulungan kayo na pumasa, no, sa distance learning. And hindi lang basta pumasa, pero matuto, no? Matuto sa distance learning na wag niyong sayangin yung ganito kaluwag na learning modality na wala kayong natutunan kahit papano, no? Because we are preparing you for the world of work, for the real world. Hindi lang work, pero for you to have a bright future, no? So whether you'll be choosing employment or whether you'd be putting up your own business, at least prepared kayo. Or some others would be venturing into college, no? Para prepared kayo, ano? Hindi kami ang pine-prepare namin dito, kayo. Okay? Also, to help us better our services, you may answer the client satisfaction form prepared by the school. Ayan, so you can check out this link or pwede rin na i-scan nyo yung QR code na yan. Uusog ako para makita nyo yung QR code and ma-scan nyo siya. Okay? Ayan, malapit na tayo matapos. Okay, now, if you visit the school, you may ask for a copy of the client satisfaction survey, yung printed copy, ayan, for you to be able to rate our services, ano, para ma-rate nyo, ano ba yung rate sa Tagalog, mag-gradean nyo kami, ano, sa mga serbisyo na ino-offer namin sa inyo, no? So, ayan. Saan nyo kami gigradean, ano, sa anong aspeto? So, we have pagtugon, yung ano, aming kahandaang tumugon at magbigay ng mabilis na serbisyo sa kliyente. We also have yung pagiging maaasahan or mahusay sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo ayon sa itinakdang pamantayan. Also, we have lokasyon at pasilidad. Kung ano ba, mabilis ba kaming mapuntahan yung aming lugar at magamit ang pasilidad sa pamamagitan ng malinaw na karatula at teknolohiya. Ang aming pakikipag-usap o pakikipag-ugnayan sa kliyente sa paraang malinaw at nauunawaan ang mga opinyon at puna. Gastos, ang inyong kasiyahan sa bilis ng serbisyo na tanggap, mga proseso, piniling pamamaraan ng pagbabayad at halagang naging katumbas o binayaran. Assurance, pagtitiwala, pagtiyak sa serbisyong may katapatan, hustisya, pagiging patas, at tiwala sa bayan sa bawat serbisyo habang nakikipag-ugnayan sa kliyente. Integrity or katapatan, kakayahan na gampanan ng tungkulin ng may kaalaman serbisyo, pag-unawa sa mga pangangailangan ng kliyente, pagiging matulungin at pagkakaroon ng maayos na ugnayan sa kliyente. And lastly, ang outcome o resulta, ang bilis ng pangkalahatang serbisyo na natanggap ng naaayon sa inasahan. So, yun yung 8 na aspects kung saan nyo kami gagrade na sa pagbigay namin ng serbisyo sa inyo. So, saang services nyo kami re-ratean? So, definitely walang number 1 yung borrowing of books kasi wala tayong books ngayon na pinapahiram na galing sa library. Modules yung hawak nyo, hindi book, no? Also, wala rin yung 7 tsaka 10 kasi yung 7 is for teachers only, no? And then, teachers and school staff. And then, yung 10 naman ay para lang sa teacher applicants, ano? Na hindi pa teacher sa atin, pero nag-a-apply para maging Baraseño teacher. Okay? So, yon. Don't forget to follow our socials, DepEd Tayo, Blue Rizal, Bara Senior High School. Like and share our posts as well as the content from Baraseño SSG and DepEd Tayo Youth Formation, Bara Senior High School R4A. Ayan. Also, I would like to remind you about the leadership training for elementary and high school students in Baras Rizal. So, this is an ongoing application. So, kayo iniimbitahan maging part nito. Ang training provider would be DepEd Baras Sub-Office and Real Life Approach and Facilitation Training Group and Services headed by Sir Reynald Francisco. Reynard pala yun. Reynard Francisco, anak siya ni Sir Ray. If familiar kayo sa kanya. So, sila ay nakatira sa Barangay Santiago sa Magsaysay Boulevard. Pero si Kuya Reynard ay member ng JCI Makati, no? Because he's based there, he's working there, no? So, if familiar din kayo sa JCI Baras, we are connected, through one international organization. Pero meron siyang training services, this is his company, ang Real Life Approach and Facilitation. So, you can check that out on Facebook. And what do they do? Ayan. So, the purpose of the training is to improve leadership and empower adolescents about gender development, gender sensitivity awareness, and personal development. Ayan. Also, to teach about the importance of the adolescent stage, gender and development concepts, personal development differences that begin in school, and to enhance, of course, your leadership abilities. So, how to apply? You're going to answer a 2 to 3 sentence statement of intent that answers this question. Why do you want to be part of the leadership training for elementary and high school students in Baras Rizal? Pwedeng English o Tagalog ang sagot. Ito yung translation. Bakit nais mong makibahagi sa leadership training para sa mga mag-aaral sa elementary at high school sa Baras Rizal? Send us your statement of intent sa Facebook page ng DepEd Tayo Youth Formation Bara Senior High School. Wait for a response from us confirming your application's acceptance. Now, we only have 17 slots left. 8 are already taken, so we will accept applications until all slots are filled. So, please send in your applications now and hurry kasi upon accepting a submission or an application, pino-forward ko agad ang pangalan sa district office. Ngayon, pag hindi na ihabol ang pangalan ninyo, sayang because 25 slots are allotted per school. Sayang naman if hindi natin mapupuno yung 25 slots para sa atin. This is a free training, face-to-face din ito, and ang join ay recommended na sana ay vaccinated so kayo naman ay tatanungin din upon joining. Also, to be announced pa yung schedule. As stated here, wala pa tayong final schedule. So, yung pag-submit ng names is only for needs assessment din, and kung ilan yung possible na makaka-attend per school. Pero sana lahat ng 25 slots ay ma-fill natin, para hindi sayang yung opportunity na binigay sa atin ng DepEd Baras and ng RLAF Training Center. Okay? So, ayan, with that, good luck modular legends sa ating lahat sa ating lahat na nagmo-module, and malalagpasan din natin to. Malapit na tayo mag face-to-face classes, though hindi pa lahat, hindi pa kayang ma-accommodate lahat, but yeah, we'll soon get there. And yon. Also, I would like to seize this opportunity to to send in our best wishes and good luck to our to your fellow grade 11 student, Aaron James Pendre from grade 11 Socrates, because he will be he will be undergoing training for editorial writing this week, and then next week naman will be competing sa regional schools press conference alongside AJ Tesoro, Erwin John Tesoro from grade 12 Curie sa STEM, So from grade 12 naman, who will be competing in photojournalism next week, and then also attending training this week, ayan, alongside AJ. So ayan, good luck AJ Pendre and AJ Tesoro, ayan, sa inyong laban at sa inyong training. Okay? So, all together, we could do it. Lahat tayo, no? Hindi lang yan sa AJ Pendre at AJ Tesoro, but lahat kayo na grade 11 and grade 12 students. Ayan, because yun nga, good luck, Modular Legends. Ibang ML naman yung alam ko, no? Ayan, have a good week, everyone, and stay healthy, helpful, and calm, and wear your mask at all times, no? Lalo ngayon na medyo lumuluwag na yung restrictions. And yon. Again, this is Teacher Hazetee from Bara Senior High School. Maraming salamat.